Hello, I hope 7th week is going well. Here is my last ever Student Council report. I've done some things, and I'm going to do some more things next week and the week after that, until I leave the job. So I've entered the SU in for an NUS Green Impact Students Unions Award. If all goes well, we should be receiving a good award. And Rosanna will be presented with some kind of trophy at some point, which will be quite nice from the NUS. I've met with the E&E reps. We had a meeting about various different things that have happened at the back end of this term, including the Green Crashing campaign, which I gather is going very well indeed. I'm going to have a meeting with the charity reps this Friday coming up. And everyone's welcome to that. I know that representatives from the Oxford Hub are coming. We've got some campaigners who'd like to meet the charities and community reps and talk to them about what they do and if they can link up at all. And I also gather that RAG are going to be taking the charity reps for a social at some point nearby as well. So if you've got any questions about that, then get in touch with me. Another thing that either will happen or will have happened, depending on when you're watching this, is I've organised a question and answer session with David Prout, the Pro Vice Chancellor for Planning and Resources, tomorrow at 3 at the SU, so come along. And yes, I'll ask David Prout about any questions you'd like about the university, about his job, which includes the idea of balancing the rising student numbers that the university demands with the university's ability to cater for them, which is always a very interesting and an interesting issue, and one that's very complex. So I'm sure he'll have something to say about that. Things that I will be doing, things that I'll try to wrap up before I leave, is I'm going to be doing a review of the Community Warden Scheme. Now, what happened with the Community Warden Scheme 2 years ago is that a head warden was created to oversee everyone. That head warden has been the same person until this year, when that person is now leaving. So we need to work out a sustainable way of doing it, which doesn't rely on one person until that person leaves, and then takes all the information with them. So that's going to take up, I think, quite a lot of my time. Another thing that I'm trying to do is trying to help this campaign called Oxford and Oxford get started. This kind of collaborative group between academics and people, residents of Oxford and students, trying to get us to build links between the university and the city, because we've got so much that we can offer each other. Students have immense amounts of energy, and the community has this enormous amount of knowledge and memory that's built up that we can take advantage of, and they can take advantage of us in the same way to reach our mutual goals, which is a very, very interesting campaign, and one that I'm quite excited about. And yeah, the other thing I'm going to be doing is working my handover, to Rosanna, and everything I did, everything I failed to do, any advice that I would give her on the stuff that Rosanna wants to do. So yeah, that's also going to be taking up has taken up quite a chunk of my time, and will take up quite a chunk of my time before I go. Yeah, that's basically it. I suppose the last thing to say is thank you, Council, for everything that you've done this year. In the sector, so to speak, Oxford SU is one of the more democratic students' unions. We're one of the more we're one of the unions that give students more of a voice and more power in the decisions that we make. For example, I work 37.5 hours a week. I'm contracted to do that, and Student Council every 2 weeks of term has the power totally to change what I do. I could be doing a day of jumping jacks beforehand, and you could change to a day of, I don't know, push-ups the next. And you've repaid that trust amazingly this year. You've the discussions that have gone on in council have been good, and yeah, there have been piercing questions and things, and it's been basically it's been quite. It's been quite sobering sometimes to see, everybody working for the benefits of students, for the benefits of the community that students live in. So yeah, thank you for that, and don't stop.